So today we're going to be doing broth cultures. You're going to learn how to properly sterilize your loop, set up a sham inoculation, and then we're going to be starting some bacterial cultures. So to sterilize your loop, you need to make sure your incinerator is on and warmed up. When it is hot, it should glow orange inside. To sterilize your loop, you're going to put your loop in the incinerator, and then you're going to wait for it to turn red. When it is red, everything on it is dead. It shouldn't take more than about 30 seconds to properly sterilize your loop. So once your loop is red, you're going to pull it out and you're going to let it cool down for a few seconds. You don't want to insert your hot loop into a broth culture before it has cooled down, because you will kill some of your microbes. Once you have sterilized your loop, don't set it down on the counter. Don't touch it, don't blow on it. Just keep it in your hand and let it cool for a minute. So that should be good enough to cool it. So I'm going to do my sham inoculation. So to do your sham inoculation, you sterilize your loop, and then you're going to insert your sterilized loop into your broth culture. So I've got my tube labeled sham right here. You'll swirl your loop around a little bit, and then you pull it out. So your sham inoculation is now done. The sham inoculation is to tell you if you sterilize your loop properly. Once you have inoculated your broth, you're going to put your loop back in the incinerator, and you're going to sterilize it again. You always want to sterilize your loop after you are done using it. So the first culture that I'm going to set up is E. coli. So I have an E. coli broth culture. I am going to vortex my broth culture to get it all resuspended. So if you look at it, you can see that the culture is very turbid, which means that there is cloudiness throughout. And now I'm going to use this broth culture to inoculate my new culture. So I am going to insert my loop in here. I'm going to pull up a loop full of culture. And then I'm going to insert my loop full of culture into my E. coli broth tube. So you just insert your loop, swirl it around a little bit, pull it out, and then you're going to put your loop in the incinerator to sterilize it. So once your loop is sterile, you're going to let your loop cool off a little bit, and then we're going to inoculate a Micrococcus luteus broth. If you look at this broth, you can see that the culture has settled down to the bottom of the tube, so we need to resuspend this. So we are going to vortex, and now you can see that it is much more turbid. So I'm going to pull up a loop full of culture. And inoculate my tube that says M. luteus. So this is done exactly the same way that you would inoculate your E. coli. So again, I'm going to sterilize my loop. And when my loop is sterile, I'm going to let it cool off, and then now I can inoculate my dirt sample. Our dirt sample is going to contain a lot of different microbes. So we can have microbes that produce sediment growth, they might have turbid growth, or they could have pellicle growth. So once my loop has cooled off, I am going to insert it into the dirt. You just kind of swirl your loop around in the dirt. And then you're going to put your loop into your broth culture, like so. Swirl it around. And then you're going to sterilize your loop. So once you're done inoculating your broths, they are going to be incubated at 30 degrees Celsius for 2 days. So this is our 30 degrees Celsius incubator. If you look at the top, you can see that it says 30 degrees. And we just open this up and we put our tubes in here.